Hi, welcome back. I'm Sean. I'm at the hotel after work and wondering what I could talk about. And then I realized I've got a toilet here. If you've ever had an issue with the toilet overflowing, or if you're just curious about how things work, this is a good idea to take a look at these things. So, what we'll do is we'll turn the camera around and you've got your toilet. Everybody should be pretty familiar with this. You've got your water valve, your supply line. So you can turn that off. The little arrow direction, the point of that handle is telling you which way the water's going. And then, it's telling you which way the valve is open. So when it's in line with the pipe or the hose that it's going, that means it's open. When you turn it, and now it's perpendicular, that's showing that the valve is closed. So then, you got your flush handle. This is your tank. This is your bowl. We'll take this top off of the tank. It is porcelain, so you want to be a little bit careful with it because it will break pretty easily. So there's a couple things you have in here. Now, I don't know the super technical terms. I'm not a plumber, just a guy. But this plunger, or this handle here, is attached to this lever on the inside of the tank. Now, this water is clean water. It's clean enough water. There's no bathroom material seeing this water here. This comes straight in through the wall, through your piping, into the toilet tank, and that's what sits here and lets you flush once you flush. So this lever is hooked to this chain, and on that underneath the chain is the flapper. And that's that big reddish orange thing. This right here is a float. The black piece is a little floater piece. It floats, and it's attached to a couple levers, and they open up a valve which your water line plugs into. So the water comes up through that pipe down there, and if this valve is open, it'll fill up. So if you can hear it, the water's filling up because the float lifts up and it stops that valve. So when you flush, this chain lifts up the flapper. I just want to do just a little bit. And because these things, the flapper will float a little bit, and then it has a little bit of weight to it, so it'll close itself down. But you can kind of hear and you can see that as the water comes in from the wall, and this floater slowly floats up as it's filling up. And then going down here takes you into the bowl of the toilet. And then it pipes out from the bowl, out and around, up and down. Again, that's a trap. And there's also a water seal, so you're not getting a bunch of vapors and stuff come from your sewer. There's also a seal right here between the tank and the bowl, and sometimes that leaks, and that's when you'll have water and stuff coming from dripping from over here. That's the seal that's leaking. There's also, if your toilet runs constantly, but you don't flush and the toilet constantly runs, that means this valve's not closing all the way, which means water's leaking through the flapper, through that black ring underneath the flapper, or through the flapper itself. That means that piece needs to be replaced because this valve is not able to lift up all the way because there's water leaking out constantly. Of course, the other scenario would be if this valve's not holding properly. So we'll do a full flush here, and you see the water go down, and then I let go of the handle, and it seals up. This little piece here is there to prevent the chain from getting wrapped up underneath the flapper and then sometimes this chain can get tucked up underneath the flapper and cause it to not close properly. So that's a little bit of the function and how a toilet works. A lot of these toilets have slightly different styles and designs, but the function is still going to be the same. There's still going to be something that floats and lifts up and closes off the valve as the water fills the tank up. There's going to be some sort of device that opens up the flapper to allow water to go down into the bowl. A bunch of these you've seen. I don't know if you've seen, but there's that bar that comes across the big black ball, and you'll see the guy goes and he just bends that little bar, and all that does is it changes the angle of the float so that it's deeper and that it floats and it lifts up and it closes that valve sooner. So if you have any, feel free to put them down in the bottom there, and let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Again, I have a lot of time here at the hotel. Well, I don't have a lot of time at the hotel, but a lot of time where I'm at the hotel. So there's a limited amount of things that we can talk about, but we'll see what can happen. Anyways, thanks for watching.